Heart to Heart with Sibongile Mofokeng on Radio Pulpit. Heart to Heart.
The search continues for top quality South African Christian music. If you are a new artist or releasing a new CD, then send it to Radio Pulpit. For more information, please visit the Radio Pulpit website. That's www.radiopulpit.co.za. Or phone us during office hours 012 334 1200. Radio Pulpit, your daily companion.
Hey, family, it's a Friday. Hello to you. Gave you the sounds. Where's the song again? And that was Rocking Eve and the song, Lord, Here I Am. How's your day? How's your Friday? And I hope that your week has been awesome, has been great. And I just have to say thanks to family members who were wishing me a happy birthday yesterday. And some started celebrating me on Wednesday already. I was getting messages from family members that is like really, truly humbling. I'm still celebrating. Guess what? I'm still celebrating. It's still my birthday. Until the end of the month, hey, I'm celebrating. It hasn't been an easy one. It hasn't been an easy month. But God has been so faithful. God has been so good. And yeah, celebrating. I'm going to celebrate regardless. And I'm grateful. My family really spoiled me yesterday. They really spoiled me again on Wednesday. So I am grateful for the Lord who has given me them and you, my family. I didn't post on Facebook, but I saw family members writing. Everybody flooded my inbox. I'm like, Lord, help me to respond to each and every one of you. Should have just put it up there on Facebook to say, yeah, it's my birthday, and everybody would have written there. And I wouldn't have to respond to each member. Nahana, my queen. Now I have to respond to every single one.
And I'm sure it's a lot.
The Lord will give me the Lord will give me strength. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's over 100. So yeah, I don't even know how many just rushed there to flood, because they were like, where's the post? Where's the post? You didn't post? All right, we will post. How
you
are you?
will find us.
Yeah, we will find you as well. Because I was really silent. You know that moment when you're like, but Lord, it's very hard for me to celebrate.
Yeah.
And everybody around you just celebrates.
Sure.
And makes you celebrate. So I need a PA.
But which is beautiful.
You should hook me up. You should hook me up with a PA.
Let's talk.
Yeah. So today we are here back talking about tax.
Yay.
And we're talking about, I think I just didn't put it correctly. I will have to fix it on our Facebook and on our YouTube. It's tax administrative penalties.
Yes.
All right. What exactly are those?
So administrative penalties
Yeah.
are the penalties that SARS charge for non-compliance, right? So non-compliant, let me just go back to the word administrative. Think of administration, right? So what do you think of when you think of administration relating to tax? Submitting your tax returns, right? That's the admin part of your taxes, right? So administrative penalties, you are being charged for non-compliance, for not submitting your tax returns or for not submitting the outstanding documents that SARS has requested from you. And this applies to all taxpayers. If you're a company, if you're a trust, if you're an individual, as long as you're a taxpayer, right? Non-compliant or administrative penalties will be charged if you do not submit your tax returns on time.
So they range from what amount to?
They range from 250 Rand to 16,000 Rand per month.
Wait. So if you didn't send and a month elapses, you can pay 250, or it can even go beyond that?
It will go beyond that until you submit your tax return.
Okay, so how do we differentiate these ones?
The administrative penalties.
Yeah.
There's actually a statement that you'll get which literally says administrative penalty statement.
And then would they explain?
They'll show, right?
Okay.
So let's give an example. Patricia did not submit her tax return. 6 months down the line, she's like, let me just check what's happening. And I go on e-filing and I check my statement of account. I'll see a statement of account shows that I owe SARS, right? So 250 times 6, which is, I think, 1,200. I might be 1,250. Then I owe SARS 1,250 because I haven't submitted for that long, right? For as long as my tax return is outstanding, then they'll be charging. And I'm using the amount 250 Rand on the assumption that my taxable income was between zero to 250,000.
All right. Okay.
So if my taxable income was, let's say, 50,000, because God been good, right? Then my penalty would be 16,000 Rand per month.
Ooh.
Right? So 6 months, 16,000 times 6.
How do you check? Okay, number one, I know that if you didn't submit, obviously you fall under that.
Yeah.
So you didn't submit like throughout the season, the tax season, then you fall into that.
No.
Okay.
So it's when you haven't submitted after, right?
Oh.
So the tax season, you've been given a period.
Like
SARS
right
is
now,
saying
when are we closing?
on the 21st of October, 3 days from now.
Okay.
So SARS said, right, this year, from July, right, 1st of July to the 21st of October, for all non-provisional taxpayers, guys, we are giving you these months for you to submit your tax return. You either come to the branch and submit your tax return, you either submit yourself on e-filing or your Mobi app, or you get a tax practitioner to submit for you. But either way, you've got this period, right, to submit.
Yeah.
When that period lapses and you have not submitted, then you are now non-compliant because you did not meet the deadline, right? So from the 22nd of October, you are non-compliant.
Oh, okay.
Because the deadline is the 21st of October. For as long as you submit within that period, you're fine.
Sure. So now, what if you haven't submitted? It's 3 years now.
If you haven't submitted and it's 3 years now.
So it's 250 times 3 years, for like 12 months in 3 years.
Yes. Correct. SARS can issue penalties up to 35 weeks. Right? So for as long as your return is outstanding for 35 weeks, there will be penalties, 250. Let's just use the 250, right? It will be 250 Rand times 35 months.
I remember somebody asked the question, when did the penalty start? Because during our time, they would tell you, in 2020, you didn't submit, go get, and nothing will be charged on that. So when did they start?
It has always been there. Penalties have always
So people were not aware of it.
People were not aware of it, and SARS were not pushing it as much as they are now.
So how do you check if you do have got penalties?
On your e-filing.
Okay.
So you can go on e-filing, request the statement of account. You can, most probably SARS will also send you an email, and I'm sure most of our family members, some might have gotten one that says you owe SARS whatever that amount is.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, but how come I owe SARS this amount? I haven't submitted my return.
Yeah.
Where did SARS get my information from?
Yeah.
The chances are that is not for the fact that you owe SARS taxes. That is penalties for the fact that you have not submitted your tax return. So you can check on e-filing. If you've got a Mobi app, then you can check on your app, right? If not, then you can... WhatsApp, you can. I'm not certain. Let me not. I know that SARS does have a WhatsApp number, but I'm not certain if you can actually check from WhatsApp. Yeah. Okay. But I would say just try and see, for the mere fact that they do have the number.
Can you also call them? Is it safe to call them and find out?
You can. It is safe to call them because remember with SARS, they do not just give information to anybody. So they will ask you relevant questions regarding you. Right? To confirm that they're speaking to the right person before they give you any information. So if Patricia, if Sibongile calls because she wants to know if Patricia, you know.
Then it doesn't work.
Yeah. They'll ask questions that only Patricia can answer.
Yeah.
And they'll know that it's not Patricia. And they're not going to give you that information if you fail those questions. But if Sibongile calls for Sibongile and she's able to answer those questions, then they will be able to give you that information.
All right. So you said something earlier, just now, actually.
Yeah.
You mentioned that then you get a statement and then you realize, I didn't submit. Well, I've been submitting. How can I get penalties and all that? Can you query that? Can you challenge that?
Yeah. So if you feel that, and I'm using the word feel, right? Because for SARS to charge administrative penalties, that means you haven't been submitting your tax return, right? This is one of those penalties where, for us tax practitioners, when we sit, we already know that the chances are very high that you haven't submitted, because it's a system that is running this. It's not a person, right? That's one. But if you do feel that SARS is not correct, you actually have submitted your tax returns and you don't understand why they're charging you the penalties, then you can query it. If you know that you haven't submitted them, but you also know that this amount is just, it's a shock. Right?
This is outrageous.
Yeah. And maybe you are not aware that you're supposed to submit tax returns. Because remember, we kept having the conversation earlier of saying in our previous talks that there are some people who don't have to submit tax returns. So you might have thought that you fall under that group, right? And you haven't been submitting your tax returns simply because you didn't know. Or you assumed that because your employer deduct pay as you earn, then you don't have to submit a tax return. And as a result, you haven't been submitting tax return. And then, jiggy, out of nowhere, you get a notification from SARS, you owe them 60,000 Rand, because obviously it's been accumulating, right? And there's interest that is being charged. And then you can request for what we call a remission, right? Penalty remission. So that is merely you asking SARS to consider either cancelling the whole penalties or reducing the penalties. But obviously your reasons have to be valid enough for SARS then to say, okay, fine.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah. and
do we have valid reasons that that we should know that now, if you talk anything outside of these, forget. You have to pay the penalties.
That's a gray area, right? Because someone generally might have not known.
Yeah.
Like, completely, totally, right?
Yeah.
Someone might use it as an excuse, but it will show. If you have been submitting tax returns for the prior years, you can't come to me for submitting tax return late this year and say you didn't know. You clearly knew. You've been submitting tax returns, right?
Yeah.
But for somebody who has never submitted tax returns, I can't speak on behalf of SARS.
Yeah.
Right? But there is that possibility that they might forgive you, right? And then you might not have to pay. But remember, you can only apply for that remission after you have submitted. You cannot not submit your tax return and then call SARS and say, guys, I'm sorry, can you please cancel my penalties? I didn't know that I was supposed to submit my returns. Okay, cool. Now you know. Submit your returns first, then go to SARS.
Sure. Yeah, you remind me of this song when I was growing up that I think it went like Jalo Je Konimbizo.
Yeah.
And all they're talking about is paying your taxes, paying. We pay for everything.
We pay for everything.
But give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. We're coming back.
This is Heart to Heart with Sibongile Mofokeng on Radio Pulpit. Heart to Heart.
In today's rush world, there is limited time for yourself. Your cell phone, however, is with you all the time. So why not use it? Visit our Radio Pulpit website with your cell phone and restore your soul. There you can find out more about Radio Pulpit. Download the Bible to your cell phone. Read Word for Today. And you can listen to us online. Just visit www.radiopulpit.co.za. Especially developed for your cell phone. Radio Pulpit, your daily companion.
Take a deep breath in the midst of a busy day. Download our app and listen anytime, anywhere. Visit radiopulpit.co.za.
You're on Radio Pulpit, your daily companion, 657 AM. This is where you at, my family. I'm not alone. I'm with our tech specialist, talking to Sis Patricia Khomani, my queen in the studio. We're talking tax administrative penalties. The lines are opened. If you'd like to talk to her, ask questions, anything on tax, that's her. She would be here. If she can't respond, she will refer you. But yeah, you can ask anything. The tax season is almost over. We left with 3 days, as you said.
Yeah.
We left with 3 days. So you get a question, please call 012-334-1200. It's 012-334. Am I saying the correct number? 1322. Today, I don't know, maybe it's the birthday thing still in my head. 012-334-1322. It's 012-334-1322. Our WhatsApp line 082-657-2729. 082-657-2729. You can also talk to us on Facebook. We're streaming live. SMS line 3787137-871. That's where you can just, talk to us and get your help. Whatever that you would like to ask text-wise, we are here to respond to your questions as well. So how do you pay these administrative penalties?
You would pay it either through the e-filing system, right?
Uh-huh.
Just the way you'd pay your normal taxes.
Are you allowed? I wanted to ask you this question. Are you allowed to make an arrangement with SARS
Yes.
on how to pay? Because
Yes.
a person with 60,000 and they're like, oh, and then they stop answering phone calls from unknown numbers and all, because how do I pay? Where do I begin? And I think a lot of people are not even aware that they can make an arrangement.
Yeah. No, you can make an arrangement with SARS. You can literally just call the call center, SARS, right? And let them know that you want to make an arrangement, or you can do it via e-filing. So SARS has made it easier for people to use their platforms, right? Mm-hmm. So that you don't have any excuse of not communicating with them. You don't have any excuse for not submitting and stuff like that. So if you feel that, this amount, it's a lot, and it is a lot, when you think about it, especially if you are not aware. Imagine 16,000 Rand, accumulating.
Especially if you're not getting anything from SARS yourself.
But that's the thing. So SARS would, SARS would be emailing you, right?
Yeah.
But once again, if your information is not updated, you might find that SARS is sending an email that no longer exists, right?
Okay.
So it's important to make sure that your information is also up to date. And going back to our conversation, if you're not certain and you know that you haven't been submitting tax returns, but you're not sure whether you are supposed to be submitting tax returns or not, then rather just call SARS to find out where does your status lie. But with regards to the payment arrangement, you can, on e-filing, you can call SARS, you can go to the branch directly as well, to just say, can I make this payment arrangement because I am not in a situation, to pay this amount. Okay. But I'll always say, if that's how you feel, try first with the remission application, to reduce the penalties. If you like it, they might cancel the whole penalty.
All right.
Yeah.
So you give reasons to that as well.
You have to give reasons to that.
All right. Let's hear if Kathy is for us. Yep, ma.
Ke a le dumedisa bitsong la morena ka Jesu Kriste.
Yes, Sis Kathy.
Ke a utlwa gore le bolela ka administrative, but ke kopa o botsisa ko Sis Patricia gore go tsa ke eng gore so submitile dilo kaofela o tseba gore o thola a certain amount ko di-returns tsa hao e be ile gore o kry-a tšhelete e nyane. Let's say for example wa itse gore go tlo kena 4,000 a go sa kena 4,000 go kena 2,000 go soka go etsagetseng because we bone ba o bontshitse le gore o tlo kry-a bokae and o submitile ntho tse kaofela ke kopa o etse nna ko nna it happened ga true following years this year yona e bile worse so a ke ne ke sa itse le gore le ha ke re ko ikhwira ko kae because ba o tlosa ba re o phone ba go fe di-number ba re o phone o ikenye query ya hao and then a ba boye back ko wena ke kopa go botsisa eo fela ke Motibe East Rand.
Hi, Motive in East Rand. Thank you so much for a message. And so what she says is that what happens, what causes SARS to give you a lesser money than what they said they would? For example, you put in your tax returns and then they say, you're going to get 4,000 rands. And then what's paid into your account is 2,000 rands instead of the 4,000 that you should. And just to add on on that, you already make, you plan your life. You plan around that 4,000. You're like, it's coming. And she says this year has been the worst. This year has been the worst because, she even tried to make a query. But now the challenge is that whenever when you put in the query, she followed all the steps, but they don't come back. And she submitted everything. So she says, what causes that? And why would you send everything, you give everything that SARS ask on time and all that, but at the end of the day, you don't get what they said you would?
So, as you know, my favorite phrase, right?
Yeah. The favorite phrase that I don't automatic. Like. I don't like that
I know. And as a taxpayer, neither do I.
Yeah.
But that's just the reality. Okay. And because I don't really know her situation, I'm going to respond generally.
Okay.
And I wanted to make that disclaimer that even though I'm responding generally, it does not mean that applies to her.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know what the actual issue is.
You would have to go into her case to find out.
Yeah. So one would be, let's assume that everything is correct. She is supposed to get that 4,000 rand, and then she gets 2,000 rand. The first thing that comes to mind is today's conversation: administrative penalties.
Oh,
right.
Wait. So it means that chances are they might have deducted.
Correct.
The penalties from that 4,000 rand. Oh, okay.
Correct.
All right.
So there might be that.
But now, if you're submitting on time all the time.
But that's the thing, right?
Because she says you've submitted everything they want and on time.
Hence, I said it's very hard to say because I don't really know her story,
but
right?
with other cases, it's penalties.
Yeah, but because what you might consider on time might not necessarily be on time. I'll give an example. A non-provisional taxpayer, right? The deadline is 21st of October. A provisional taxpayer, the deadline is next year, January. Now, if you've got the information of a provisional taxpayer and you submit in January and you're a non-provisional taxpayer, you are not submitting on time.
You're already late.
You are already late. But for a provisional taxpayer, they are on time, right? So it's also important to make sure that you actually know what kind of taxpayer are you and what are the deadlines that applies to you per se. So that is one, right? The second thing might be that you are a provisional taxpayer. And if you're a provisional taxpayer, you are supposed to submit provisional tax returns, right? So if you did not submit provisional tax returns, SARS then automatically assume that you are declaring a nil amount, right? And then when you submit your normal income tax, there's a discrepancy because then your previous return, which you did not submit, is zero by default for the fact that you did not submit. And now you've submitted this return and you're saying that you've got this whatever amount of taxable income. Then now they're going to charge you what we call understatement penalties. You understated your taxable income because you did not submit your provisional tax, right? So for that, that's another penalty, right? Now, because there's that penalty, you're being charged for that and you're getting the balance. So that's the other one that I can think of. The third one that I can think of would be previously you might have owed SARS.
Okay.
And now they're deducting from that. Or it might just be an error, which is rare, but it might be. And then
if I remember, if I heard her very well, I think she said for 3 years now.
Yeah. And the
In
fact
her
that
case.
And the fact that it's 3 years now, then that means there's something that she's not aware of. So probably she might be a provisional taxpayer. So then maybe what I could say is if she's got rental income, right? If she has a side hustle that she includes on her tax return, if she receives interest income that is more than 23, let's just say more than 30,000, right? Then she is a provisional taxpayer. And because of interest, we hardly think about interest when you're submitting your tax return, right? You usually think about, okay, fine, do I have a salary? Do I have a side hustle? Do I have property? No, I don't have property. No, I don't have a side hustle. I only have my salary. Then therefore, I'm not a provisional taxpayer. But then you're investing, and if your investing brings you so much of interest, more than 30,000 Rand, then you're a provisional taxpayer. So there might be something that she's not aware of. So that's that, right? If it happens that she is just an employee, right? And the only income is remuneration, and she's got travel allowance on her remuneration package, but she doesn't submit a logbook, SARS then will reverse the calculation where the travel allowance deduction was, and then that would reduce her refund, right? And as a result, now she receives less. So there's many reasons why this could happen. One would literally have to look at her situation. But when it comes to what she's saying, that she's been calling SARS, but they don't come back to her, then the next thing that I can advise, she's got two options. Either she gets a tax practitioner to assist her issue, or she goes to the branch.
All right.
Yeah.
Pastor Boniwe Tindiki, Shalom, my queen. Sibongile, can our queen lady explain the difference to provisional taxpayer and this other one? You know which other.
Yeah, I know which other one.
Thank you, my queen. Yes.
So a non-provisional taxpayer would be a taxpayer who only earns remuneration, right? And when we say only earn remuneration, we mean in a scenario where your employer is deducting pay as you earn. So if your employer is deducting pay as you earn, then you would fall under non-provisional taxpayer, which would be the normal taxpayer for this tax season, right?
And yet, still, even when your employer does that, you still have to submit.
You still have to submit your tax return.
Your employer submits, but you also have to submit.
Yeah, so your employer pays the pay as you earn on your behalf. That's the only thing that they're doing. So let's make an example. Let's say, I love examples. Let's say there's Nomti, there's Patricia, there's Sibongile, right? Nomti owes Sibongile.
Okay.
But Patricia pays on behalf of Nomti to Sibongile every month. So Patricia pays Sibongile, Patricia pays Sibongile, Patricia pays Sibongile, Patricia pays Sibongile, right? There needs to be a reconciliation that has to be done, right? That's where Nomti now comes in. Nomti is supposed to go to Sibongile and say, okay, Patricia has been paying these amounts on my behalf. I have earned this much. I have earned 10,000 Rand. Patricia has paid 2,000 of the taxes. Do I owe you anything else? Is there a balance, right? Then you will say, oh, no, actually, Patricia has paid everything else. You're good. Thank you for the reconciliation. That's the tax return, right? Or you will say, actually, Patricia paid more than she was supposed to. So because of that, I'll pay you back the balance. That's what you consider the refund. Because now the employer might have paid more, and they might have paid more simply because they don't know your life, right? There might be other things that you are claiming that the employer doesn't know about. You might have medical aid and you might not have medical aid on your package. You might have retirement annuity fund, which is not your pension, right? Something that you're doing on the side. Then things like that allows you now to get a refund. So that's just a normal a non-provisional taxpayer. Your employer is paying pay as you earn on your behalf.
Okay.
If it happens that you are working, your employer, for whatever reason, is not paying pay as you earn on your behalf, you fall under provisional taxpayer. So a provisional taxpayer then would be in rare cases where your employer is not paying your, pay as you earn, right? If you've got any other income other than remuneration. So any other income would be your side hustle. Any other income would be rental income, if you've got rental income. Any other income would be, once again, the interest income, right? If it's over the 30,000 Rand. And the reason why it's over 30,000 Rand is 23,800 of your interest income is exempt.
Okay.
So meaning that the 23,000 is not taxed. So if you earn interest of 23,000 Rand, because it's not taxed, then you don't have to be a provisional taxpayer because SARS knows that they're not going to get anything from that. So that is the main difference between a provisional and a non-provisional taxpayer. One generates income from employer and that is it. The other one has income, might have income from employer or not, but has all the other forms of income that they're generating. And SARS created this system. Remember, if you're employed, right, on a monthly basis, SARS is already getting taxes from you. If you've got the side hustle or you've got rental income or all these other incomes, there isn't a system yet where SARS is getting that money from you on a monthly basis. Then hence now you're a provisional taxpayer. They're saying instead of you paying a whole lump sum during the tax season, submit 2 other tax returns where then you can pay a portion, then it reduces or it gives you a relief during the tax season.
All right. Sibongile, please ask Patricia, because I'm a pastor, started out in a new church. We are registered as an NPO. Churches should also pay. Are we expected to pay tax?
Okay, this is a broad one.
And I know that churches are not paying yet. Okay. Oh, okay.
It's not
Not
automatic.
All right. So I think Muruti wants to do right.
Yes.
Yeah, but most of the churches are not.
So there's a difference between NPO and a PBO.
Uh-huh.
In terms of, I guess, us as humans, right, layman terms, it's the same thing. Your organization is for the benefit of other people and you're not getting profit from it, right? That's the basic of it. But an NPO, that term refers to more of the government, right? So the government recognizes you as an organization that is operating for the benefit of the community, right? PBO, Public Benefit Organization, that is now SARS. That is when SARS recognizes you that you are an organization that is operating on behalf of the community. So just because you consider yourself an NPO does not automatically mean that SARS consider you as an NPO. So what does that mean? It means that for you to be an NPO, an organization to be an NPO, you have to register with SARS. It's not automatic.
I remember you said that.
Yeah. For a church to be an NPO, right? Sorry, PBO. However, even if a church is a PBO, right? So that means now you don't have to pay taxes. You are still required to submit tax returns.
Okay.
Yeah. So we need to remember that submitting tax returns and paying taxes are 2 different conversations.
Yeah, a lot of churches they're going to get penalty. Look at Nomti. Nomti is like, yo, Baruti. All right, we're coming back.
The Christian Women Business Network, Bontlebama NPO, and Gibbs Business School bring you the Established Businesswoman Networking Summit and Gala Dinner on the 1st and 2nd of November 2024 at the Gibbs campus in Sandton. You are invited to join other business leaders, entrepreneurs, founders and funders at the ultimate networking opportunity to end 2024 meaningfully for a better 2025 business year. Come and learn from world-class thought leaders, network and showcase your business services, and products to stand a chance to win amazing leadership, business, and entrepreneurship tools and solutions. WhatsApp 082 970 6035 to attend the established Businesswoman Gibbs Networking Summit and end this year strong.
Come and ask your questions, share your concerns, experiencing life on 657 AM.
9 minutes just before 1 on Radio Pulpit, your daily companion, just before our 1 o'clock news bulletin. I'm not alone. I'm with the tech specialist. I'm talking to Sis Patricia Khomani in the studio. We're talking tax administrative penalties. And I see you, Ngani Matsimela. Thank you so much. She says, many returns, my queen. God blessings to you. Amen and amen. I receive. And churches, please call NPK urgently. No, like really, like urgently. It's something that you need for yourself.
Yeah.
Annette van der Merwe, blessings. Hello, thank you so much for joining in. But yeah, to churches, I'm going to say it again. Call NPK. Find out where do you fall and get help, because we don't want to see churches being closed and pastors because sometimes it's my name on the blog. Yeah, it's the church, but it's my name on the blog. So churches, do yourself that good gesture of just calling in PK, get help, clarity, pay the taxes. And as we were talking, I had this feeling that sometimes we complain, it's our tax that pay there. Yeah, we are the ones who did. Yeah, the taxes are on.
Yeah.
And I think God is not pleased with that, because he said, give Caesar
what
belongs to Caesar. So you just give to Caesar, you close your eyes. What Caesar decides to do, Caesar will account to God. If he's misusing it, Caesar will account, you know? Yeah, but hey, we want to make them known. It's our tax. Let's listen to Kathy. Kathy, your message is too long. I'm not quite sure if we will be able to finish it. Let's hear if Patricia can respond quickly to you. Otherwise, I would suggest that you call Patricia. You call the NPK office and get help right there from Patricia. Patricia, what are the numbers again?
082 652 5207.
Say that again.
082 652 5207.
All right.
They can call our office line. It's 011 700 8140.
It's 011 700
8141.
I don't have that one, hey?
It's new.
Yeah, congratulations. All right, we don't have much time. Let's hear Kathy. Kathy, what are you saying?
Hi, Sibongile.
Yes, my
Ke
queen.
mo understand hore o reng. So it means tshwanetse ke ye ko botsisa ko SARS, because nna ke sebeletsa Department of Education, and ke a makala njalo
Yeah.
ha ile hore ke nako tsa di-tax ke submita ele nna ebile ke etse mistake, because ba re bolelle hore no re tshwanetse gore re submite between July, August and September njengoba bafa extension. And I don't want to lie, Sibongile, mara SARS ha e re tshware pele. Re bona se ba deductile ditšhelete tseo re sa itse gore ba di deductile bjang. So ho ngcono ba re fe di-number, ha setse a tlo tsamaya a re fe di-number tse e leng gore e tla re mohlomong next year ha go fitla June, July, August e be ile gore ra itse gore re tlo query kae straight ko di querying, so that re tlo kgona go query gore bona ba re explainele, because ha re fitla mo a ba re explainele next ba o bolella fela gore o tlo kry bokae ke ye, and then ba o botsise fela gore account number ha e sa le tsona dilo tseo kaofela. Then ge e be ile gore ge wa submita wena o tseba tšhelete ya gago e tlo ba bjalo. So no tshwanetse gore ha ba fetsa, if go na le something e leng gore wa etsa e wrong or e leng gore tshwanetse o e patalle or eng, ba o romelle email ba o bolelle gore re deductile 2000 because of 1 2 3 ba ska re tlogela re le bjalo
Yeah.
because ra makala hore go etsagalang.
Yeah.
Ke a
Yeah.
leboga.
Yeah. And let me hear the last 5 seconds.
Ko nna no side hustles.
All right. So she doesn't have a side hustle. She works for the Department of Education, and she submits on time. And when she went there to query, all that was told her, they just checked her information. Do you still have the same account number? This is the amount you're getting. But nobody explains after the deduction why it was deducted. So I think, yeah, she's right. Maybe she should start with your office first. That's where you can make the investigation because it puzzles her.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll get your millions back. But yeah, check with Patricia, 082 652 5207. It's 082 652 5207. Their office number 011 700 145.
40.
Oh, 40.
Yeah.
Oh, where did I get the 5 from? It's 1 here. I wrote my 1 as like it looks like a 7. So it's 011 700 40.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can also check them on media platforms and PK Consulting. And you can get all the details there if you've missed the numbers as I'm giving them out right now. But NPK Consulting, and they will help you. So as we are wrapping up, do you want to also say something to her or others as well in her position?
So I think you're right for her. Let her call us and then we can see where we can go with that.
Yeah.
It's once again, I hear her, but it's very hard for me to comment until I actually see
you
what's
investigate.
going.
Yeah.
It's sad that the experience that she got that she didn't get an explanation.
Yeah.
But I guess what I can advise is for others when they do go to SARS, they should actually ask, can you please explain to me how did you guys get to this amount? Because I don't understand, right? And then see where that
especially
conversation
if you send me this SMS or if you send me this message, or you said this much and then the next thing I get,
yeah. And
so do you text the returns?
And
are my returns text?
And then once again it goes back to and I guess because that's today's topic, right? It'll go back to the possibility of administrative penalties.
Okay.
If they send you an email or a text or whatever saying that you supposed to get a refund of 4,000, right? That's for your income tax.
Okay.
Your income tax statement and your penalty statement are separate.
Okay.
Right?
My queen, go to NPK. You go to NPK. No. Yeah.
Yeah. So hence earlier I started with when you check on your e-filing, check for the administrative penalty statement.
Is it possible that the employer can cause that you incur penalties as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All
Because
right.
the penalties are simply the fact that you have not submitted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, my queen, for coming through. It's always an honor. I'm so delighted you're here today. Yes.
Because just a reminder,
Okay.
please do submit your tax returns before the 21st of October.
And are we talking to non-provisional?
Non-provisional taxpayers. So
Non-provisional.
if you're a non-provisional taxpayer, please submit your tax returns before the 21st of October to avoid getting penalties, right? And also, SARS is becoming, like I mentioned, more determined, to be polite, in getting non-compliant. And SARS has the right to take this further other than penalties, which is jail time, unfortunately, or being convicted if it goes there.
Yeah.
So just to avoid all of that, submit on time.
All right, family, the numbers again for NPK Consulting, 082 652 5207, 082 652 5207, 001 781 40. It's 011 781 40. Alternatively, go to all media platforms and find NPK Consulting and get help for yourself. Thank you so much, my queen. May the Lord keep keeping you. And thank you for conscientizing us. We don't want to pay. I don't want to lose anything in my account, but hey, I gotta pay pay Caesar and give God what belongs to God.
Amen.
Alrighty then, we're going and crossing over to the 1 o'clock news bulletin. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank
God
you for
bless you.
having us.
Thank you, Nomti, for escorting her.
657 Radio